Verhelaxal. I am Skeggy Vetter, and welcome to the Norse code. Now you may notice this is going to be a little bit different. Not wearing my Viking garb. I don't have a plan. I wasn't planning on filming today, recording today. What I'm going to talk about today it just isn't something I had on my list to cover. However, it needs to be covered, and now is the right time to do it. So before we get into it, I want to give you a little background as to why I'm going to be doing this. So this year has just been incredibly busy. At work, my department lost half of the people in it. And so now the rest of us are trying to pick up the slack and make sure everything still gets covered. And then weekends, for the last 7 months, I've been home 4 weekends out of 7 months. I'm just always traveling for, well, not for real work, for my ghost hunting side jobs. Doing events with Get Haunted, with Empty Casket. I'm doing shows and meet and greets and whatnot. And it just doesn't leave time for much of anything, really. I mean, I'm sure you've noticed that, and I've said this before, that I had to take time off in the summer from the Norse code. It was just too busy. I couldn't make time for it. With fall and winter coming upon us, the ghost hunting kind of falls to the wayside, and I'll have a lot more time for this. And the plan is to try to kind of get the ball rolling a little bit more, maybe get ahead a little bit, so that next summer, when I take a planned time off, that I can still get some stuff out there for you guys. I haven't gone anywhere. I'm still here. It's just been one of those years. Well, with all that, with being that busy, and with not having time for much else, it's also very difficult to stay connected with the gods, to stay connected with nature. And once you start losing that connection, you start to veer off your spiritual path. And that's what's happened to me. And that brings me into the crux of what I want to talk about today. Getting distracted and losing that connection, it's okay. Really, it is. It's okay to get too busy. It's okay to just lose that connection, lose that feeling that you get, kind of fall from your path. It's okay. As long as you get back on it. As long as you rebuild those connections. As long as you start working on yourself again. As long as you just haven't given up, it's okay. It happens to all of us. It happened to the gods. Odin, at one point, was not the leader of Asgard. In fact, he was exiled from Asgard, which is an interesting story and one that we'll cover this winter. Thor lost Mjolnir. Loki kind of did it to himself, I guess. But the point is, life happens. And when you lose that connection, it sucks. You don't feel it much at first, but over time that disconnect will start to weigh on you. It'll start to eat away at you. It's not good for your mental health. It's not good for your spiritual health. Potentially not good for your physical health either. So you need to recognize that, oh, hey, I kind of lost this a little bit. I need to get that back. And then you need to work to get it back. And that's what I'm doing today. That's why I'm here in my favorite place to go hiking. I have, as I said, traveled every weekend. Last weekend I was in Massachusetts for a couple days. Tomorrow I'll be in New Jersey. The weekend after that I'll be in Baltimore. Then I get a weekend off. I got to spend that weekend decorating for Halloween which usually happens at Labor Day, and here we are at the end of September, and I haven't done it yet. And then I'll be in Gettysburg, I'll be in New Jersey twice more, I'll be in Connecticut, and then New Jersey again, and then finally my schedule opens up. And that's just what's upcoming, let alone the past 7 months. But I've noticed for a while that I've fallen off of my spiritual path. And I'm like, okay, I'm really busy. Getting off the path is fine. I just need to get back on it. And in the back of my head, it's like, I'll just get through this busy season and then get back on the path. And that was the wrong move. I shouldn't have done that. I should have, as soon as I recognized it, gotten back on immediately. Now, it's not to say I haven't done anything over the last 7 months. You know, I mean, I've gone hiking, I've done some rituals, I've, you know, performed a little bit of magic. But I haven't talked to the gods. Not really. I haven't made enough time to come out into nature and decompress and just be here. I haven't done the adorations and the offerings that I normally do. And I recognize that, and I did nothing about it. That is not okay. But I'm starting right now. I've like, okay, this can't go on any longer. I need to reconnect. And coming here to this place, this is the quickest way for me personally to reconnect. As I was walking up here, I passed my very favorite grove in the entire world. And as I was walking in there, well, let me give you some history. That grove is where I first talked to Freyr. That grove is where I first met Sir Nunos. That grove is a home of the Fae. It's a place that's just very calming and relaxing for me. So as I walked into that grove, I said a prayer to Freyr. And I just kind of stopped and stood there and took it all in. And I started to feel his presence. It's the first time I felt the presence of the gods in a long time. And I needed that. I really needed that. Today, in general, I knew that I was getting exhausted and burnt out. And so I took today off from work. I went and I got a massage. I slept in. And now I'm out here amongst nature, reconnecting with the gods and with nature. And this is the first step. Now, I'm not going to get back to where I was immediately, but this is a good first step. And I should be able to reconnect fairly easily. I had a pretty strong connection before, so it's not like I'm starting from scratch. But yeah, shouldn't have let it get this far. And if you are feeling disconnected, if you are starting to have, stray from your path, if you're starting to feel that disconnect, if you're just having issues with mental health, this is a great thing to do. Take a day, go connect with the gods, pray, go for a walk, get out into nature, preferably someplace where you don't hear anything. Like, there's a river about 3 miles from here, and if there's a loud boat going down it, I could kind of hear it. Or her plane goes right overhead, I could hear it. Other than that, I hear nothing man-made here, which is fantastic. It's a great place to just sit and meditate and relax. And when you meditate, when you relax, when you open yourself up, that allows that connection to be rekindled. That's another thing that I haven't done much. Meditate. I used to meditate every Monday night. There was a Facebook group that did a live guided meditation, and about 6-7 months ago that stopped, which is unfortunate. When they had that, I was really good about making sure I meditated at least once a week, because I always had okay, Monday night, we have this group, we're going to meditate. Without that, I've only meditated a handful of times. I've come to realize that I need that little push to keep going. So I'm wondering, should the Norse code start doing a weekly live guided meditation? If that's something that you would be interested in, please let me know down in the comments. Shoot me a message. I'll put a poll out on Facebook and YouTube. Can I do a poll on Instagram? I'll put polls out on my socials to see what you guys think. And if it's something that there's enough interest in, I'll start doing that this winter. Yeah, I think it'll be good for me, for sure. It'll be good for a lot of you, I bet. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. See, this is what happens when I'm not planning anything. I just kind of ramble and go on a tangent. So let's steer back to what it was I was talking about, and that's reconnecting. It's something you have to do. You're going to fall off. It's fine. It happens to everybody. And it doesn't matter what you're doing. You know, say you play an instrument. You're going to hit times in your life where you just don't pick up the instrument. And then eventually you pick it back up. You're a little rusty, but you kind of start practicing again, and you get back to where you were, and then you keep progressing again. Again, that's something that happened to me. I play guitar. I hadn't picked up my guitar in 9 months, and then about a month and a half, 2 months ago, I got a new guitar, and I've made it a point to play it at least 3-4 times a week, just to kind of get back in that rhythm of playing often and being able to progress as a musician. And it's the same with any skill. It's the same with this. I mean, really and truly, connecting with the gods is kind of a skill. You have to know how to do it. You have to get good at it. And it's something that you kind of have that memory of how it's supposed to feel. So you're not starting from scratch. Once you make that connection and you lose it, you know what it's supposed to feel like. So you could get back there more easily than if you're starting from scratch. Now, if you're watching this and you've not made that connection before, yes, it's difficult, but it is so worth it. It'll help you in ways that I can't even begin to explain. It's been so good for me mentally, spiritually, and physically that I never regret it, ever. Yes, it was hard. Yes, I stumbled along the way. Yes, I made mistakes. Yes, I got things wrong. But it's okay, because I got there in the end. And I learned a lot along the way. And sometimes having that once you get there and you have this disconnect and you're reconnecting again, that might just be for the better, because you could come at it from a different angle. You know, depending on how much time has passed, you've changed in that time, because people always change. So you could look at it from a different point of view. You can come at it differently. You can change how you do it a little bit. Maybe it changes for the better, maybe it changes for the worse, but you don't know until you try. And then you could adjust accordingly and possibly come out better at the end. I mean, that would be the ideal, is you come out better at the end. The hope is no matter what happens, you're always progressing towards the better. So yeah, so here I am, sitting in the woods. I'm going to go finish my hike. I'm going to get some B-roll footage while I'm here, so I could throw some stuff up on Reels and TikToks. And I have not forgotten about reading the Havamal. I have some recorded. I just need to finish editing and put it out there. The goal is to get one out this weekend, along with this episode. So that's still coming. Runa's Runes wasn't getting a whole lot of visibility, and Runa didn't love it. So I still want to do something with her. Maybe once a month I'll have her pick runes, or I'm going to do something with her, because she is a sweet snake and she's amazing. Actually, I should probably do an introduction video for my other snakes, especially my garter snakes. They're all named after shield maidens. Yeah, maybe after Thera sheds, we'll do that. So yeah, I'm rambling, just kind of getting my thoughts out there. So if there's anything that you want to hear me talk about, whether it be on the paganism side or on the mythology side, please let me know. I'm happy to cover what you want me to cover. If you're a new listener, well, thank you for finding me. Thank you for listening. My plans coming up are, we got the story of Odin's exile, story of Thor losing his hammer. Those are both my plans to get those done before Christmas. I want to do a couple more spotlights on a few of the gods. Maybe pick some of the more minor gods. And I think we've been doing this long enough now. It's time to do the Voluspa. I'm going to do that as 2 episodes. I'm going to do one where I read it and one where we talk about it. Yeah, that'll be fun. Oh, and Halloween's coming up. So last year I talked about Samhain. This year it's going to be more Norse related, and it's going to be about Draugr, the Norse zombies. So yeah, that'll be coming up around Halloween. So thank you for listening to me ramble. Remember, falling off the path, it's okay, as long as you get back on it. So get out there, get into nature, talk to the gods, pray to them, leave them offerings, practice magic. Do all the little things on a daily basis that help you connect to them. It doesn't take much to keep that connection. Yeah, you might get too busy like I did and just let it slip away. And that's okay. You can start back up again. Don't let it dissuade you from moving forward. So with that, thank you for joining me tonight, today, this afternoon, whenever it is for you. And may the gods keep you and bless you. Good night.